Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, May 27th. Hope you're enjoying the day. We're going to continue our reading in the Psalms. Last week we did Psalm 103. We're going to continue to the next one because it has a connection. That phrase, "Bless the Lord, O my soul," is used in this psalm as well, the one we talked about last week. And as a reminder, I'll be reading out the New Revised Standard. NIV uses praise rather than bless, and I like the way the bless the Lord ties into the reading of this psalm, and so that's why I'm choosing New American Standard or New Revised Standard Version. As I was researching a little about this psalm, I ran across a quote by a guy named Johann Herder, who's a German philosopher. He remarked, "It is worth studying the Hebrew language for 10 years in order to read Psalm 104 in its original." So we have the English. We're going to lose a little bit just from the translation. Apparently, it's very beautiful and poetic in Hebrew, but that is not something I can deliver to you. A little bit more of the background of the psalm. The Eastern Orthodox Church uses this as part of their evening prayers every day. And the Western Church used it more often in Holy Week, or as we're coming up on, it was a reading used at Pentecost. And so the timing's good since this coming Sunday is Pentecost. But it's dealing with God and his creation and the greatness and majesty of that creation. And so it's a good time of year to read this because of the renewal of our earth through the coming of spring, at least here in the northern hemisphere. And so here's what I want you to do. This is a fairly long psalm, and I'm going to take some just brief pauses from time to time. And here's what I want you to do. Let the words remind you of a place or a time when you were in nature and you were enjoying the beauty of creation. Just take a moment. It could be out your back door. It could have been a time you were at the ocean or the mountains or some other significant place. But let these words about God as creator and provider connect you to the fullness and the entirety of his creation. So here we go. Psalm 104, starting with verse 1. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, you are very great. You are clothed with honor and majesty, wrapped in light as with a garment. You stretch out the heavens like a tent. You set the beams of your chambers on the waters. You make the clouds your chariot. You ride on the wings of the wind. You make the winds your messengers, fire and flame your ministers. You set the earth on its foundations so that it shall never be shaken. You cover it with the deep as with a garment. The water stood above the mountains, and you rebuke. At your rebuke, they flee. At the sound of your thunder, they take to flight. They rose to the mountains, ran down to the valleys, to the place that you appointed for them. You set a boundary that they may not pass, so that they might not again cover the earth. You make springs gush forth in the valleys. They flow between the hills, giving drink to every wild animal. The wild asses quench their thirst. By the streams, the birds of the air have their habitation. They sing among the branches. From your lofty abode, you water the mountains. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of your work. You cause the grass to grow for the cattle and plants for people to use. to bring forth food from the earth, and wine to gladden the human heart, oil to make the face shine, and bread to strengthen the human heart. The trees of the Lord are watered abundantly, the cedars of Lebanon that he had planted. In them the birds build their nests. The stork has its home in the fir trees. The high mountains are for the wild goats. The rocks are for the refuge for the conies. You have made the moon to mark the seasons. The sun knows its time for setting. You make darkness, and it is night. When all the animals of the forest come creeping out, the young lions roar for their prey, seeking their food from God. When the sun rises, they withdraw and lie down in their dens. People go out to their work and to their labor until the evening. O Lord, how manifold are your works. In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your creatures. Yonder is the sea, great and wide. Creeping things innumerable are there. Living things, both small and great. There go the ships, and the Leviathan that you formed to sport in it. These all look to you, to give them their food in due season. When you give them up, they gather it up. When you open your hand, they are filled with good things. When you hide your face, they are dismayed. When you take away their breath, they die and return to their dust. When you send forth your spirit, they are created, and you renew the face of the ground. May the glory of the Lord endure forever. May the Lord rejoice in his works. Who looks on the earth and it trembles? Who touches the mountains and they smoke? I will sing to the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have being. May my meditation be pleasing to him, for I rejoice in the Lord. Let sinners be consumed from the earth, and let the wicked be no more. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Praise the Lord. I hope through that reading you thought about several times that you connected with God through his creation, the power of a storm, the majesty of a mountain, the greatness of a sea, and you were reminded of your Creator. And looking around us now with the renewal of creation upon us, may we enjoy sing praise to him. Peace and blessing to you today.